Welcome. Thank you for being on our little tennis show, which
let's go.
May not be as tennisy. You're one of the picklers. You're one of the pickleballers.
I am. I mean, I played tennis for 30 years.
Yeah.
So, but I am a big pickleball player. I play 5 days a week.
You said I don't give up days away from pickleball. Like I don't.
I hate it when work interferes with my pickle. I mean, yeah.
And you own a franchise.
We owned one. I will tell you that when Major League Pickleball started, we owned one of the first teams for a very short period of time. Then it got really serious, and then like famous people started buying teams.
So are you saying you're mad that famous people bought pickleball teams?
Like really famous, like big, like really, like I'm not a famous person, but like really famous athletes, and then big money came in, and then it got like really brotastic, and then I got out fast. But I'm still a big fan of pickleball.
I've gotten in trouble talking about pickleball before, because basically I say that you can't expect me to like pickleball as much as something that I've done and loved my entire life.
Fair.
Okay, great.
Hi, Natasha Harper-Madison. I'm the proud council member for District 1 right here in Austin, Texas. I'm a born and raised Austinite, so it's with extreme pleasure that I take the opportunity to look around my city and recognize that there are things that my colleagues and I are doing that exist in perpetuities. My great-grandbabies, that's something, important information that I had said about what will my grandbabies and great-grandbabies call them. And I don't care how big or small I am, it's Big Mama. And so when somebody calls me Big Mama, I want them to look around this city and recognize the things that work, the things that keep us connected, the things that make it accessible and affordable, or things that people had to fight hard for. And so when those folks said those nasty things about that Big Mama, she said, you know what, we got to do it anyway because the future is worth it. Thank y'all for being here today.
Why are people flocking to Texas? What's happening in Texas? What's happening in Austin? And what are the big draws that we see?
Well, I think the phrase that we all might call it is the Texas miracle, which, as some folks know, is basically the sense that we've had this huge uptick in jobs and sort of growth in Texas across energy, technology, you name the industry sector. We've seen some growth in Texas, which has been phenomenal. And that also means we've had a lot of people come to Texas to get those jobs, to support those industries, to do that work, which means that our housing market is growing.
Well, the developments are awesome. I think one of the things that draws people to a city like Austin, a dynamic city like Austin, is our innovation. So people who are creative, people who are innovative, and frankly, people who want to live in a town that's growing in a way that makes sense. And that's sort of the beauty and the shame. To your point, the other side of that miracle is the shame. And so the beauty is we get the opportunity to build a city that gets it right. Folks across the country call the District 1 office, and I recognize that I only represent 46 square miles, just under 100,000 people in the 10th largest city in the nation. Why is anybody from San Jose or Bellingham, Washington giving me a buzz? Because they're thinking along the same lines we are. And if we're building templates right here in Austin, Texas, with the ingenuity and frankly with the space, I think it's a beautiful thing that we have the space with the body that we work with and the administration that we work with, that there is flexibility around doing it differently. Generally speaking, most of the folks in the room, you guys' policy want, but generally speaking, for anybody who doesn't know it, land use is dictated by what's called the Land Development Code. My oldest kid is 30. Austin, Texas has a land development code that's older than my oldest kid. And so it doesn't work in so many ways that what we did was, instead of working through a system that frankly just obstructionist policies don't allow the kind of development we need, and hopefully you'll agree with me, but retrofitting a major metropolitan city, which took 30 years too long to get comprehensive transit, and a new land development code that allows for the kind of growth that is inevitable. But that said, instead of getting stuck, what we did was we got creative. And the creativity was piecemealing land development code changes that would allow for more development in the city in a way that transcended political parties. Austin is one of the most economically segregated cities in the country. It transcended economics. It just makes sense the way that we're doing things currently. I'd say we got a long way to go, but we're moving in the direction of having the general public be able to speak the same language. Lay people don't want to talk to you about Florida area ratio or impervious cover. They just want to know what works for their neighborhood. But we're getting there, and I'm optimistic.
I really appreciated how you started off with the kind of great thing of, well, we have all these houses in Texas. Unfortunately, they're unaffordable to a lot of median Texans. And so, median income earning Texans. So we have worked really hard in Austin, thanks to great work of the council member and others, to really emphasize not only on that additional supply and changing some of those very outdated rules, but also really emphasizing affordable housing. But the idea was essentially that we should loosen all the regulations that we normally have for housing projects related to affordable housing. And that just makes common sense, I think, as the council member said, but it's seen as quite innovative, which is, I think, a little bit means that also speaks to how difficult it is to build in this country. That we did something that was basically, hey, if you're doing affordable housing and a certain percentage, you get the constraints that we would normally put on some of these projects are lifted. And that was related to parking and setbacks and a number of things.
Development, developer. When people hear it say the word, they're thinking the monopoly man. It is a monopoly with a monocle twisted his mustache. Developers build stuff. We're sitting right now in a place that a developer built. And so I think even just changing the language and changing sort of the tenor of the conversation around building stuff and what that means is really critical as we enter into those conversations. How we're talking about the things that we're talking about today in March of 2025 very well could be absolutely pointless in 2 weeks. We might have to pivot so fast and so hard that we have to think about what it actually looks like. And I think I'm going to fast forward to that personally, thinking about what it actually looks like.
There's a lot of buzz about this show right now. People backstage, people are talking. I mean, all the staff is like, when's it over? And, they just, good buzz, I think. Any buzz is good buzz. I found out roughly 5 minutes ago that I was going first, and I'm always the guy they go to. You want someone to go first. You want them to be laid back. You want them to bring the audience to a nice standstill, so that way they can run through the rest of the show. Save your energy for the last comedians. And you guys might recognize me from your prayers. Which is how Jesus started all of his speeches. Because the Bible didn't exist back then, so that was the only way people knew him, really. Visions. It's good to be home here in Austin. I lived here for 3 days 5 years ago. Things are different, I can tell you that right now. I'm living in the same building, it's just all new neighbors. I guess that's how hotels work. It's hard to tell how anything works, really. I was grocery shopping recently. I was in line. There was 3 people ahead of me. They all had one thing in common. That's that I was right behind them. A lady was having her groceries rung up, and they were going from the store's product to her thing that she owns now. You're watching that transition go over the thing. It's what an amazing. I'm sitting there holding stuff that I don't even own yet, and I'm like, maybe someday I'll be like her. I'll own all this stuff soon, I think. And all of her stuff is getting rung up, and I see tortilla chips come up, and I think to myself, I bet salsa's coming up pretty soon. But when her groceries were all done, she looked around and she looked back at me, and I knew what she was looking for. And then she said out loud, but to also nobody at the same time, I forgot salsa. And the 2 women in front of me looked at her like, there's always next time, But I looked at her and said, you could do this. Not verbally, but, with my eyes. And she just started running. And the clerk watched her run, and that's putting the clerk in a weird situation right now, because now there's no one manning no one's paying for anything, right? She's just standing there, there's customers in line waiting, and so the clerk feels like she has to help her out, so she yells after her, "It's in the sauce aisle!" And it's just like, no, it's not. Listen, I know you've been up here working the register for a while, but I've been boots on the ground in these aisles pretty recently. And I can tell you that salsa's not a sauce. It's not. It's in the chip aisle. That's actually something you guys did for us. And so I knew that I had no other option but to start running. And I got down the chip aisle and got to the salsa. I picked out mild based off her outfit. And when I got up to the register, everyone was gone. The manager was there. He was holding an apron and said they had to let the clerk go because of the misinformation she was giving out about salsa being a sauce. I've been working at that grocery store for about 2 weeks now, just in the chip aisle. I'm going to figure out an ending to that joke eventually, but I'm glad that you guys let me know tonight that that's not the one. Like, I could have left here thinking, well, there's the ending. No. I'm going to leave tonight, and future audiences are going to grow and love that, and you guys are going to be the ones that actually did all the work, really.
Great to see you. Please remain seated. Please remain seated.
I know where that's from.
I love that I'm even in this situation. Just because about 15 years ago, I decided that I was a gamer and inserted myself into the gaming community.
Thank you for that.
No, it's a terrible crime. I should pay for it. And yet, it just keeps paying these dividends that won't stop.
We did want to give you a gift, if that's okay. We did not rehearse this. This is not scripted. So
you're going to give me a gift? I thought I had won an Oscar. I thought you got an Oscar for hosting the Oscars.
Which he should get.
Which I should get, by the way. And it turns out, with all the problems in the world, you're applauding that? He should have an award.
Right.
No, I thought it was, I was very disappointed.
I know. If you want to open
should I go open this?
Go ahead.
This is like a game show suddenly. All right.
I warn against trying to pick it up.
Okay. Oh, you're talking to me? I'm a very strong man.
Yes.
I'm 6'4", 190 pounds, pure muscle.
Yeah.
I can't even get the box open. So
But
that is, oh my God.
So this is a one-of-one that we made for you.
Oh my, look at this.
For those who know, it is a doom hammer. And
thank you so much.
Thank you.
What a huge waste of resources for you and really for everyone in the gaming community.
We're good for that too.
Thank you so much for that. I will cherish that, and my wife will say that is not going anywhere on the first floor. I wanted to do this because I am one of the better gamers in the United States. And that's not even a joke. I really believe that I have the skills, the speed, the intelligence, and the knowledge. But I wanted to meet you. You're a very impressive person. We both started, Joanna, at the same university, and yet I went one way into evil. and you seem to have a very impressive resume.
But yeah, I was 12 years at the NFL, and then back in 2018, I joined Activision Blizzard and cut my teeth with Call of Duty. Now at the helm with Blizzard. It's the coolest, most amazing job ever. And I'm just also really amazed and gracious to the festival for doing this, because gaming has been waiting for this moment for sure.
I was ignorant. I played Call of Duty once. I think you can look it up online.
Seen it. I've seen it.
And famously, I think it took me 18 minutes, we counted, to cross the street.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the greatest band in the world, SexPop!
capital letters bold. Big up Flood Fest, South by Southwest. Let's go. You guys ready?
Let's go. Yeah.
They can't walk in my cribs. They can't step how I step. This not superstar flex. Yeah. Full charge, nothing less. Yeah. Full charge, nothing less. Yeah. Full charge, nothing less. Full charge, no. Used to be hard up.
Counselors, they got stayed on me.
Can't rain on me. Come take my cheek. Got color, got style.
They not done this week.
Gotta give them heat.
Make them sweat like heat.
We could make noise in this lunchtime break.
Kill 'em.
Running this thing on my DMC. I'm DMC.
Set to blow, man, gotta give it TNT.
Want the J.O.B. done. You see me.
I keep it moving like a refugee.
SUV.